everyone. Welcome back to Serving 813, a radio show and podcast featuring Tampa Bay organizations and groups every Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. We're your hosts, Ava Lamison,
Ava Hyde, and Lily Phillips.
And today we are super excited and beyond grateful to be joined with some of the voices and faces behind Relay for Life.
Now, if you don't already know, Relay for Life is a movement under the American Cancer Society that unites communities to celebrate cancer survivors, remember loved ones lost to cancer, and raise funds to improve the lives of people with cancer and their families through advocacy research and patient support to ensure everyone has an opportunity to prevent, detect, treat, and survive cancer.
So with that said, welcome to the show, Dr. Christina Towning and Tammy Schoonover.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Hello, thank you.
Yay, we're so excited you guys got to be on the show, but let's kick things off with getting on a deeper level. So what is Relay for Life all about?
That's an excellent question. I'm Christina Chowning, by the way, and I will tell you that I've been relaying for 15 or better years, and I first learned about it. It was actually at Academy of Holy Names, and I just moved back to Tampa, and my former husband was a cancer survivor. And when I found out that there was a walk that kind of recognized and celebrated cancer survivors, that was the first thing I could think for us to do. So we went, my oldest son was in a stroller. Oh my gosh, you know what? Now that I say that, he's 29. So I've been doing it for 20. Wow. Sorry, that was new to me. In any case, we just walked, and it was this beautiful celebration of the survivorship of cancer. There was a lot of education that they were doing, a lot of advocacy that they were doing, and it just kind of brought the community together and informed us on a different level of what Relay was.
Yeah.
And the opportunity to raise money for it. The first time I did it, I didn't know there was a money component to it. It was just all about awareness and celebration of life. Then when I learned more and I dug deeper into it and found out that we could actually raise funds for it and where all the money went, I was sold, because my grandmother had cancer. Like I said, my former husband, my best friend in the world had cancer. And then fast forward about 10 years later, I actually got cancer myself, and I was able to learn on the receiving end of what American Cancer Society does for you, what their impact was on a really, really personal level. So that's kind of my story and where I came from it. But Tammy actually works for the American Cancer Society, so she's got more intel on that.
Thank you for sharing. I am Tammy Schoonover. I do work for the American Cancer Society. I'm a senior development manager, and been doing this for a long time, about 13 years, always in the relay world, the purple world as we call it. Relay is so it's different for many people. It's just a really unique experience. But as Christina said, it's a community coming together to celebrate our survivors, remember our loved ones, and really make the impact with the donation. Feel very blessed and fortunate to be able to be a part of this organization and the impact that we've been able to make through Relay for the past 40 years. So just as I said, Relay means there's just so many levels to it, and it's very near and dear to so many people, and just so thankful for the support the Tampa Bay area has given us throughout the years.
So we know that, especially with our school plant, we do a lot for Relay for Life at the end of the year, kind of. I think it's your event. So that's in the 813. What are some other ways that you guys like to serve the 813 on a daily and show what your passion is?
Okay. Would you like to know how the funds are spent? How the impact is given right here in the state of Florida?
Yes.
Okay. So when we look back at the numbers, I'm going to back up just a little bit. We talked about when we read the mission statement. Our funds are done through advocacy. Our pillars are advocacy, patient support, and then obviously continuing cancer prevention information. But right here in the state of Florida, nationally, we had 160,000 participants and raised $68 million in 2024. We're not done with 2025 yet, okay? And then the Tampa Bay area raised $632,060 last year.
That's amazing. That's really impressive.
So it's very impressive.
Well, actually, let me just toot our horn a little bit. We were the third highest fundraising relay in the United States, or actually, nationally. So I mean, the third one.
That's crazy.
I can't tell you what a big deal that is, because I've been, like I said, associated with relay for so long, and we barely knocked on the top 10, and that was in the state of Florida, and now we're third in the nation. I can't even tell you how proud that makes me.
Congratulations.
Yes,
that's
congratulations.
Very impressive.
Well, thanks to you guys too. I mean, you're a part of it. You've been doing it since you were a little
since
one.
birth, before I could even speak. But
yes,
if
thank
you guys,
you, Ava.
Well, thank you. But if you guys have ever gone to a Relay for Life event, it's literally amazing. It's like a party, basically, and they really do great stuff. So that's why I love it so much.
So with those funds, going back to the mission and how we turn those dollars into action, there is $9.9 million, almost $10 million, currently invested in 19 research grants. We also have the Hope Lodge here in the Tampa Bay area that sits on the USF property. And that facility, it's for cancer patients and their caregivers, stay for free. And we provided over 42,053 nights of free lodge to cancer patients while they're going through treatment. And that was in 2024. We also provided 7,800 rides to treatment. Okay, there's access here through our Road to Recovery program. In addition to that, we were able to fund $550,000 in transportation grants to the hospital system. Again, getting patients back and forth to treatment. So those are some of the, like I said, when we raise all this money, it's wonderful, but then it's like, where does money go? That's just an example of how we spend our dollars.
If I could interrupt for a second, I just want to talk about the research dollars, because I think that's where you're headed.
Go ahead.
So in 2024, Relay for Life funds sponsored and supported the Moffitt Cancer Center to the tune of $4.9 million, University of Miami to the tune of $3.7 million, and University of Florida to the tune of $1.3 million. And those are big, big dollars. But I have to tell you, as a cancer survivor, one of the medicines that I was taking during my, after the treatment and everything, was actually funded by the American Cancer Society. So the research doctor that invented, I don't know what the right word is, but that came up with the specific pharmaceutical drug for me to take, it was funded by the American Cancer Society. So, I mean, I truly have ACS to thank for curing me, for lack of a better word.
Yes.
I mean, it's the medicine that I took was funded by the American Cancer Society. So I will forever be grateful, and I will walk until I can't.
That's going to stick with you, the impact the American Cancer Society has brought to you. I mean, that's crazy.
And we do know since 1991, and remember, Relay is 40 years old, so started in 1985. So in 1991, cancer death rates have dropped by 34%, which is wonderful. The cancer death rates are going down. Only caveat I'm going to say is cancer diagnoses are going up. They have been on the uptick for the last 2 years, which is troubling. But the good news is more people are detecting it early, which is early detection is the first line of defense, and they're able to survive cancer. So that's a good thing. The offsetting bad thing is we're still yes.
I also really love how you shared those stats too about how much money you guys are raising and how many people it's helping too, because I don't think many people realize, obviously, people have cancer, but when you go into these stats and how much money you're raising and how many people it's helping, it really gets a first perspective on how many people are really dependent on that. And it helps them so much. Like you shared, like it helped you after your treatments were done. It funded your treatment for that. So I just think it's really interesting that you shared those stats and like helped even me remember how many people it's helping.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, let's talk. Can we talk specifically about? We talked about last year's event. Can we talk about this year's event?
Yes, of course.
So, relay event season pretty much goes with the school calendar. So we are started our 2026 event season, and we're off to a phenomenal start. The actual event is going to be Relay for Life of Greater Tampa Bay. This includes Hillsborough, which means Plant City as well, Pinellas, Pasco, and Manatee County. So we have a huge footprint. So we all come together as one large community at Raymond James Stadium. It's been March 7th and 8th. It is an overnight event. It's not everybody has to spend the night, but it is an option because cancer doesn't sleep, so neither do we, and we are up all night fighting back against cancer. It is at Raymond James Stadium, and we're right on the Buccaneers field. We've secured the date with them, and the contract has been signed, so we are ready to go.
Hey, that by itself is worth coming. I mean, how many people get to say that they spent the night, like overnight, in an NFL stadium where their team plays? I think that's incredible. That super fun, you guys. Super, super fun. I mean, not to mention it's a phenomenal cause, but it's fun.
It's a phenomenal cause. Lots of fun. I think Aben mentioned it.
Yes.
It's a party from the time while we're setting up till the time we're walking out. For the parents that are out there thinking, oh no, it's an overnight event, there is plenty of security. That's Raymond James does a great job with securing the facility. So that's not a worry. So come on out on March 7th and 8th. And Lights, Camera, Cure is the theme. So it's going to be a movies themed event. So it's very broad and lots of fun. Lots and lots of fun.
Yes. I mean, you guys have like Zumba, karaoke. It really is a party. That's how I'd describe it. But
there is also wanted to mention that for high school students, but even maybe in the college world, this qualifies for community service hours. Great way to rack up a lot of hours through team meetings, leading up to the event, fundraisers, and also the day of the event with setup, tear down, and so lots of ways you can earn community service hours in just one event.
Yes, and you forget you're getting service hours for that because it's so fun. But I think that does wrap up our first segment. So I did want to ask, because this is a radio show, I'm going to ask Christina first, what song should we play?
Oh, do we want to pull at the heartstrings or do we want to celebrate?
Ooh.
Let's go with one that really struck me when I was going through my treatments. Martina McBride, I'm Gonna Love You Through It.
Okay, perfect. We'll be back after this song.
love you through it.
And we're back. Welcome back to Serving 813. Make sure to tune in to hcchawkradio.com every Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. if you want to find ways to serve your community. Now, if you're just joining us, I'm one of your hosts, Ava Hyde, and we're here with Christina and Tammy from Relay for Life.
So I know that Relay for Life serves so many communities, but specifically in Tampa, how did Relay for Life start and how has it grown over the years?
I can try to tackle that. I can tell you that relays were a really grassroots vision in the beginning. And there were lots of different little Relay for Lives all around. There was Relay for Life of South Tampa that used to be hosted at Robinson High School. There was Relay for Life of Tampa that was hosted at Plant High School. And then Plant got turf, so then they couldn't host it anymore. So they moved it to Coleman. And then Coleman's track was a little bit less desirable because it was a community track and there were pits and so forth. So we eventually merged the two because they were spending so much money to put on the events that it didn't offset. So anyway, to make a long story short, they combined it and it became Relay for Life of South Tampa. And that's when Plant and Robinson came together and we invited other schools and it just kind of grew from there. Then under leadership after that, we kind of came up with the idea that we needed to streamline it even further and grow the event so that we could get rid of, if you will, or sunset, I should say, some of the smaller events, because if we came together as one giant community, then we were serving our greater Tampa Bay area. So some of the smaller ones, like I said, it started at Academy of Holy Names and then it kind of moved to Plant and then Coleman and then Robinson and Relay for Life of Inner Bay is what it used to be called when it was down at Robinson. So it just kind of all morphed into this bigger one. And Tammy and I were talking one day, we're like, well, we have to find a place big enough for all these teams. And I'm like, well, you know what I'd really love to do is have it at Raymond James Stadium. I think that she's looked at me like, sure, we're going to make that happen. And lo and behold, somebody knew somebody who knew somebody, and we were able to pull it off. And by having it there, we're pulling the money together so that it can make a greater impact in our community, because there's still that level of friendly competition so that it's, the high schools kind of against each other. And Steinbrenner brings in big money and Riverview brings in big money. And so, Plant has to beat that. I mean, I work at Plant now, so I feel like we need to beat that. So it's been around for a long, long time, but definitely we've grown to be probably one of the biggest in the nation based on our fundraising.
And I'll just tag off that pretty much when the high schools, the Hillsborough County high schools, all went to the turf, we knew we were kind of up against a situation of, well, what are we going to do? So that's where we really kind of brainstormed some ideas, and the stadium really just checked up all the boxes. They are really good community partners, so I want to thank them for working with us. And the other concern was, how are all these, because we do have over 100 schools from all different areas. How do we all come together and coexist when some days we're rivals on the field, and now we're coming together for this event? And this will be going into our third year, and I'm always so impressed how the only rival on the field is cancer. We all come together. It's a wonderful feeling. I'm very proud of the community and the students that are there for just making this happen and making it a great event. So yes, it's kind of come full circle with completely starting basically there was relays on every high school on every corner to this one big event.
Yeah.
But it is working, and we're coming together and just still making the big impact. Yeah, as Christina said, with less cost.
So I know we just talked about like the history of Relay for Life and how we all came together, but I did want to ask, where do you think Relay for Life is going to be in 10 years time, 15 years time, like in the future?
Well, I know that during COVID times and people needing to distance themselves from one another, we were able to pivot to the extent that we went virtual, and we had a lot of virtual walking as well as some small in-person events. So I do believe that as we continue to advance in technology and all the things that we're going to do, that we'll continue to make a big impact. I don't ever want to say that the community face-to-face live events will sunset, because I feel like there's power when we're together. We can get more accomplished. We can definitely celebrate more. We can absolutely learn more and support one another. So I hope that that never goes away. But I do think that including that virtual component is not a bad idea, because then we can, some of the survivors who maybe can't make it out to the event or family from out of state or so forth, that they can log in and they can be a part of it too and support you also. So I think that that will be certainly an addition.
And I also think because we do have so many high schools involved, every 4 years we get a new group of students. So it's always fresh, it's always new. And I think that helps keep the life in it. I've had a lot of people ask me across the country, how do you get this many people to sign up? And I think it's our youth. It's the constant, the turnover. The good news is we've actually had a lot of high school students. Our team captain meetings are all virtual because we are such a large footprint.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of college students or high school students go to college and still be a part of this event. So that's exciting, that even though they might be somewhere else, they can still tune in and be part of the event.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
And I did also want to ask, what does Relay for Life mean to you personally?
As I've mentioned, I started walking before I even was a part of the leadership team. And my youngest son is 18 now, and he was in a stroller when I was pushing him the first time. And it really and truly is a family event. My kids grew up at Relay for Life. They've been spending the night on high school football fields and Buccaneer football fields their whole lives. Purple is in our blood. It truly is impactful. And, I didn't mention this before, but when I was going through my treatment, trying to be strong for family, because I'm the first member of my family that ever had cancer. So nobody really knew how to talk about it or, how to be around me or not. They didn't want to ask too many questions because they didn't want to hurt my feelings, or they didn't. So it was just this really big elephant in the room, no matter where I went. My friends didn't know what to do about it. My family didn't know what to do about it. And I remember one night in particular, just being particularly scared and worried about, I don't know, something that had happened or a fever that I had, or I don't even remember what it was at this time, but it was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and I couldn't call my family because I didn't want to scare them or anything. And I didn't have any friends that I could call because nobody had any experience with it. And I remembered that ACS has a 1-800 number and it's staffed 24/7 with nurses and doctors.
Really?
And I could ask them the question. So I did. I tried it out and I thought, what's it going to hurt? And I was really genuinely upset. I had something on my mind that was really worrying me. And I called the number, and I'm going to give it to you now. It's actually 1-800-227-2345. And I would encourage you, if you know somebody with cancer or if you yourself are going through it, they are the most educated, compassionate, helpful people. And this one particular nurse just talked me through it and explained all that I was going through and, tell me what I could expect next and not to worry about this, that, and the other. And it was incredible. It truly made me feel better. It made me feel like somebody was on my side and kind of got me through it. So on a personal level, I definitely support American Cancer Society, but through Relay for Life, because it is such a family-friendly, family-forward event and community building. I mean, I've worked at both Robinson High School when Robinson was hosting it, and now I'm at Plant, and Plant is a huge part of the program. So I think it's really, on a personal level, as a teacher, as an event leadership person, as a human being, I think that this is the most fun you can have for a good cause that I know of.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to tag team on the 800 number. When we mentioned earlier about the services, the rides, information, the 800 number is the gateway to all of our resources. So if that is anything that you need, please call that number. Please utilize this. As Christina said, they're wonderful. Their National Institute Cancer Center is what NCIC stands for, but they're just wonderful, educated people there to help. So please use the resource. And it doesn't have to be the cancer patient. It could be a caregiver. It could be a son, a daughter, sister, anywhere across the country. It doesn't matter where you're calling from. They will help you put the pieces together of the journey that you're going through.
Yeah. And we'll post that on our Instagram so you guys can connect.
Thank you.
And I know that both of you guys have been in Relay for Life for a long time. Do you have any favorite stories or even just what brings you the most joy in Relay for Life?
This is Tammy. I think it's the energy, the hope that Relay gives. It is, I've done Relay, I've been in the Purple World for 13 years and been down here. This is my 7th event season here in Florida. The volunteers, the event leadership team, my coworkers, cancer survivors, they give me the energy that I need to keep moving forward. I never get tired of it. It's a wonderful experience to be able to see it all come together and we just move forward from year to year. So
I think the thing that really impacts me the most is to see young people, students of all different ages, because a lot of our elementary schools are involved through their teachers and so forth. But as they get older, so the high school students in particular, they create their own teams. They get out there on their own. They are the leadership of it. And that, to me, as a high school teacher, is truly awe-inspiring to see them kind of take it on and shake their fist at cancer and really fight for this cause that so many people are impacted by. That, to me, is the amazing, absolutely amazing. I can't say enough about that.
Well, and if you look at the funds, $632,060 we raised from say August 1st to July 31st. Please remember, we had 2 hurricanes last year. We had 2 massive hurricanes. And this community still rallied and came together and came up with those numbers. So people are just incredible. They're just so giving of their time, their talent, their resources. Again, it just gives me hope.
And I love the tight-knit community that Relay for Life makes. And also, I'd like to add, my favorite part is seeing all the ways people raise money. I mean, last year when I went to Relay for Life, I saw somebody had like a whole TV set up and like they did gaming, like, oh, pay $5 for like 5 minutes on this game. And I was like, it's so funny to see the extent that teams do to raise money.
And that's the fun in fundraising
that
we talk about. But there are so many creative ways, and sometimes I'm at the disadvantage. I don't even know how people raise money. They do it, and they have fun with it.
I mean, it's working, so.
See a lot of pie in the face. That's always.
I always pay for that one.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting how, again, like Ava was saying, and Miss Tammy, about how creative people get with the ways that they raise money. This will be, when I go this year, my 3rd year going, and each year I see something new. Like, I remember last year there was a big chair and stuff, and people were like taking pictures outside of it, and all around it there were people eyeing each other in the face and stuff. And it just reminds you that things like fundraising can be so fun and so creative, and everyone can make it something that they love too. So I just think that's a good reminder to always keep in the back of your mind, even if it's something that you're like, if you're like maybe scared to go to Relay for Life, you can always make it into something that you love. So that's what I love about it too.
And the other thing is, every dollar matters. And I know I've had people come up to me and say, oh, I didn't do what I did last year, or I don't feel like this is enough. Everything matters, and everything is all appreciated. Because we do come together as a community, and that's exactly what grassroots fundraising is.
Yeah.
So we're thankful for everyone that takes part in it.
Well, I think that wraps up this segment. This show is going by so quick, but Just like I asked Christina, Tammy, it's your turn. What song should we play?
Well, let's go ahead. Since a relay is all about celebrating, remember, and fight back, let's do celebration.
Love it. We'll be back after this song. into hcchawkradio.com every Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. if you want to find ways to serve your community. Now, if you're just joining us, I'm one of your hosts, Ava Lamison, and we're here with Christina and Tammy from Relay for Life. So I did put up an Instagram story the other day asking you guys listening to send in questions regarding Relay for Life. And just like always, we got a ton of responses. So before we get into that, I know we want to talk about this year's teams for Relay. So Tammy, did you want to talk about that?
Yes. The websites are live, and I am so excited to share that team registration this year is literally on fire. And don't worry, there's room for more. We currently have 65 registered teams, 485 participants. This is trending about 3 times where we were this time last year for signups. So it's an incredible way to get involved, and we're just excited. Every time I get a notification, I'm just elated that we got one more. I'll also go ahead and send you the flyer. You can put that on the Instagram page. But the website is relayforlife.org/Tampa Bay FL. That'll get you to the website, and just go ahead and sign up your team. Otherwise, you can, there'll be a QR code on the flyer.
Yes, and all plant students listening, we only have beta signed up right now. So if you're a president of an interest club, you better sign up for Relay for Life, or I'm going to hunt you down at school.
As Christina mentioned, it is competitive. There is a high school traveling trophy of the school that won.
It is at Plant right now. I found it. I saw it.
Oh.
I don't know that I don't know if we rightfully earned it.
That was
that
might be another one, but the Newsom has it from last year.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah, but at one time, I'm sure Plant probably won it.
You know what? I think it does say Relay for Life of South Tampa.
Yes,
so that's true. Good point. It is an
But
old
yes,
one.
it's definitely one that can sit in Plant High School's trophy case all year long.
I like it.
I think we're going to go ahead and read some DMs now that we got. For anyone that doesn't know, Serving 813 puts a Instagram story up, and we get a lot of DMs asking just about our organization that we're interviewing. So do you want to put the first one?
So what qualifications do people need to become a student ambassador?
Okay. So each of the high schools have student ambassadors, and they act as the liaison between the high school and the event leadership team. And what we do is we share information to you, give you tips and tools of how to recruit, and then you go back into your school and you share the message, the mission, the message, and how they can sign up their teams. As far as qualifications, just be a part of the high school, want to be a part of Relay, like to earn a few more community service hours, just get more involved, and learn some really good leadership skills as you're going through high school. We actually have our first team captains meeting /ambassador meeting on this coming Wednesday, September 17th. I'll also put a link to it. You can tune in anywhere you're from, your living room, your car, wherever you're going to be Wednesday night, and listen in and figure it. We'll have more instructions of what student ambassador expectations are. But we just welcome everyone in to get involved.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, make sure you turn in Wednesday to hear that, guys. Our next DM says, how does Relay for Life honor both survivors and those who were lost to cancer?
That's an excellent question. So we kick off the event with a survivor lap. So all cancer survivors that are there, and young and old, and we've had them, teeny tiny little tots that are coming out there with their parents, and then, people that, God bless them, they couldn't get around the whole track very well, so we put them on a golf cart and we drove them around the track. But the very, very first lap, after we do a survivor dinner, because we do host an event ahead of the ceremony or ahead of the kickoff that honors our survivors at that point, but they get to walk the first lap, and that's really impactful because you get to see all the folks that are walking the track, and hey, that person survived cancer. It's really powerful and meaningful. But throughout the evening, as it gets a little bit darker, because it is an overnight event, so as the sun starts going down, you start seeing people getting busy putting out the Luminaria bags, and that's the little white bag that they have decorated for folks that we've lost and or those who have survived and are kicking its butt right now. And they have lights in them, and we line the whole perimeter of the track with these luminaria bags. And at a certain time during the luminaria ceremony, we kill all the lights, and we play the music, the soft music, and we have some people that do some talking and kind of give statistics and so forth. But it does give us an opportunity to honor the folks that we have lost to cancer. And that is especially moving because you're walking that track and it's dark and it's quiet, and you're reading these beautiful bags that say, in honor of my grandma that I lost to cancer, or in memory of my uncle, or just beautiful, beautiful tributes to folks that are no longer with us, but also those who are currently fighting and those who have survived and are champions of it at the moment. But the luminaria ceremony is really probably the most emotional, impactful, meaningful part of the ceremony, in my opinion.
Just to add, when participants register and you are a survivor, if you check the box on your registration, you are mailed a survivor shirt. They're always purple because purple is the universal color of hope. So all the survivors get a survivor shirt. And then, as Christina said, they take the first lap. We do have a large Gold Together area at the event. And September, as we are in, is Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month. So it's Gold Month, which is happening right now. And so there is the Gold Together kiddos. They take the first lap, and then the older survivors are behind them. It is a great day of celebration because they're very proud of the journey they've went through, and we're very proud to celebrate with them. So after the first lap, there'll be a meal, and then they'll just continue the celebration with us. So I mentioned the Gold Together month is September, but actually tomorrow, September 10th, is Gold Together Day. First time we've done this across the country. So all funds raised tomorrow through Relay for Life go directly to pediatric cancer. So that's kind of a special day. In addition to the luminaria ceremony, we also have the luminaria slideshow. So if you would like your loved one picture displayed on the Jumbotron, get it to us, and we will go ahead and proudly display their portrait part of the slideshow.
I love that. I think that's such a great way to spread awareness and show people like how real cancer is. So this next DM we have, I know we kind of went over this, but it says, how do you choose a location for your main relay event?
How do we choose it?
Well, like Tammy mentioned, all of the public high schools went to turf. And so Hillsborough County Public Schools kindly invited us to go elsewhere for our events. And, we knew that it was a big enough event. I mean, even the one at Robinson used to be 1,000 teams, or 1,000 participants, 100 teams. So we needed to be in a bigger place that would accommodate a lot of people. So we considered Busch Gardens. We considered, what's Al Lopez Park. There's lots of different places. And like I said, I just kind of brainchild. I'm like, I would love to have it at Raymond James. And it just kind of grew from there. So we were able to make it happen. But the only way we could make it happen is by merging all the smaller events into this one bigger one, because there is some cost to putting it on, but we were spending money at each of the different events to put it on. And now we just combine all those, and we've gotten big enough that we've absorbed other places, and they didn't even have an event. So we've taken on Manatee County and Pasco County. And so there's folks in these other counties that are like, hey, we love what you're doing and we want to be a part of it. So now we're able to maximize our expenditures.
And basically we had to look at what checks off all of our boxes, all of our requirements. And safety and security is a big thing, the space that we need. So when it comes right down to it, we had options, but we didn't have a lot of options. So we're just very thankful Raymond James is willing to support us.
Yeah, well, we are running a little short on time, so I'm going to go straight to our last question, which is how can students like us get involved and what's the best way to reach out?
Well, if you're a student at Plant High School, you can come and see me, Dr. Chowning, room number 107, and I can help you get plugged in. But if you're listening, you can visit the relayforlife.org/Tampa Bay, Florida. You can definitely enroll a team. You can be the captain of a team. You can join a team. If you're looking to potentially be a part of the leadership team, you can reach out to Tammy Schoonover, and her contact information is on that website. So relayforlife.org/Tampa Bay FL. That's a way to get involved leadership wise. If you're looking to be a participant, sign up a team, get involved. We would love to have your help.
And that's where the survivors will sign up as well. But yes, if you just Google Relay for Life and put in Tampa Bay area where you're going to relay, it'll come right up. So it's Tampa Bay, a Relay for Life of Greater Tampa Bay, presented by Ultimate Medical again.
Yes, and we'll be sure to paint that all over our Instagram page. But thank you so much, Tammy and Christina, for being on the show.
Thank you. This
Thank
has
you.
been fun. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Well, before you go, we do ask, you have a departing song you want us to play?
Oh, absolutely. Today has been a lovely day. Let's listen to some Bill Withers on Lovely Day.
Love it. We'll be back after this break. Bye, guys. And we're back. Welcome back to Serving 813. Make sure to tune in to hcchawkradio.com every Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. If you want to find ways to serve your community, I'm one of your hosts, Lily Phillips, and we're just here with Christina and Tammy from Relay for Life. But now it's time for me, Ava, and Ava to do some reflection.
Yes. Where should we start? I don't know.
I think we should share our favorite things that they said.
I agree.
That'd be good.
I'll go first because ladies first.
Oh,
or,
wait.
I don't know why I said that. But anyway, my favorite part was the whole history behind Relay for Life in Tampa. I liked how Christina and Tammy really touched on the grassroots of how each relay was at Plant or Robinson or Jefferson or Academy of Holy Names, and then they all combined and made it Relay for Life. And now it's in the Buck Stadium, and now they're 3 in the nation for raising money. I just think that growth is crazy.
It's like seeing them kind of start small.
And then she just Tammy casually said, "Oh, we raised like $600,000." It's like, holy moly.
You think when you go to the event and you have you buy a cupcake or you pay to pie someone's face, you don't realize how your little donations create a big
exactly
life-changing amount of money.
I agree. Because also the things that people do to raise money are just kind of like what you said, you're pieing people in the face, or getting food, or playing a video game, and it all adds up because there's so many people there, and it's a big contribution, and it helps more than you'll literally ever know.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part was when Miss Tammy was talking about how at the end of the night they do a slideshow of all the cancer survivors, to kind of showcase how many people there are and how many people that this money is helping, because I think it's important to see what your money is going towards, and it's all these people that have been cured of cancer and have fought cancer, and I think it's a really good visual representation to just show everyone on there. So
yeah, very beautiful.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, I do need to cut a reflection short because I do have a public service announcement. If you guys are in need for urgent volunteering opportunities, this Saturday, September 13th at Al Lopez Park in Tampa is the 2025 Tampa Congenital Heart Walk and the Children's Heart Foundation, and they need volunteers. So if you're interested, you can register on the site, and I'll put the link on that on our Instagram so you guys can get involved if you want to. But yeah, make sure, if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram at Serving813 if you want updates on all episodes. You can stream past episodes or new episodes, see who's going to be on the show. And if you're an organization, you can DM us and get connected, and maybe you'll be on the show. But yeah, having Relay for Life on the show is really fun. Tammy and Christina were amazing, and we loved having them here. But we're serving your city one convo at a time. This is Ava Lamison signing off.
Lily Phillips signing off.
And Ava Hyde signing off.
We'll see you next week. Bye.